Yo, what it is, of course, 2 seconds before we start, Dev leaves his seat. That is how we do things here on the Philstream. Nothing goes correct. It's your boy, Philio here, bringing you another Philstream. It's kind of, we didn't really have anything set for today, and Steve couldn't make it. So I said, well, I'll just pop on here and talk about some of the stuff I want to talk about. And, of course, joined tonight by my fellow intrepid Command This podcast co-host, Mr. Dev, curator of all the beats and all the weed. He is the man with the plan. Now, I hope everybody had a happy Easter this past weekend. If you're in the DMV, the weather was fantastic.
Fantastic.
It was fantastic. So we already got comments popping in. Top Spilling says, "What's up?"
What's up?
Nero says the beat goes hard.
Appreciate you.
Tia, Redskins Girl 49 says, "What's up, Philly Phil? What's up to you, Tia? Hope you had a good Easter weekend."
I thought the intro came on after the timer.
So no, it didn't. Not when I'm doing it.
Yeah, so I was like, I got time running to grab a Coke Zero for my sugar. And I don't have sugar, by the way.
The man's keeping his A1Cs correct.
Right.
Thomas
I don't have
Jones
sugar.
Interview with Gruden. His mom is doing nothing but right by him. We focus on straight defense. Boy, best player available at 29. We're gonna talk a little bit about the NFL draft first, actually.
Yeah.
But yes, it was Easter weekend. So if you're a believer, yes, Jesus was risen on Sunday and the Pope died on Monday.
Yeah.
Tell me if that's not some at least random coincidence right there.
Yeah, the day after the vice president went to go visit.
Our intrepid host says, "What's up, y'all? Chilling in a hot tub in the woods in Eastern Maryland."
Did you use a big word like intrepid?
Huh?
Did you use a big word like intrepid?
Yes, I did.
Damn, son.
Hey, look, I used to write those rhymes back in the day. I had to have
butterfly in the sky. It's like a reading rainbow moment,
words.
bro.
Had no more words.
What's up, Redskins? Here, I can't see who the picture of the person.
Oh, that's still Steve. He's still chilling in his hot tub in the woods in Western Maryland. Look at this. He's in a hot tub in the woods in Western Maryland. And what does he do to top off an evening like that? He tunes in to see his boys. That's the man. Steve says he's more of a Dodge Intrepid.
Yeah, Dodge Intrepid was dope, though.
Hey.
Oh, it's Tia. I was like, who the hell's what's up, Fred?
All right, so
what's your name changed on here? Jacked me up.
Yeah, she's using her YouTube handle.
Oh.
We know her as Tia. The rest of the world knows her as Redskin Girl 49. All right, but Tia proves that we do not have an all-male fan base. We actually pull from both men and women. So, hey, we're doing something right.
Yeah, we're tech sexual.
Something to that effect.
Yeah.
So the first thing I want to start about, let's talk about this. Of course, we're Commander's first podcast, not Commander's only podcast. Yeah. So, and I like to talk about random stuff. So do the rest of the guys. So, but we are going to talk a little NFL draft first.
And no Big Dick Randy.
No Big Dick Randy, because that got us demonetized for shocking and offensive content and for using someone else's work. Now, this stream's going to be demonetized real quick because I'm going to be pulling. I got music queued up and everything to play, but it's part of the discussion that we're going to have. We're talking about a lot of different things tonight. It's not going to be, anything super formal. We got. Let me make this bigger here so you can see us coming right through your screen. Anyway. We're going to talk a little NFL draft first, right? So there was a mock draft that came out, and I do not remember who it was, but I remember who was mentioned in it. I know Rigo's Rag had an article about it today. That's where I said, so shout out to Rigo's Rag. I'll credit you for it, but you were citing someone else's mock draft. And it was an interesting pick. Now, I'm going to focus on the first 3 picks because, of course, those are the ones that are in the rounds we expect to probably get some key contributors out of. So I'm going to go first. Let me share my screen here. One of my many tabs that are up. We're going to start here. And So we got Mr. Donovan. I cannot pronounce this dude's name. Zero
Rocco.
from Boston.
Rocco.
I always just call him Donovan from Boston College. He was projected as our first round pick in this mock draft. 6'2.5", 248.
Is that the kid from Boston College or whatever?
Yeah, he came from Boston College. A little undersized, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think his arms and stuff are short too. For a guy that's going to be picked in the first round that you expect to anchor your edge, I think his measurables should matter. Unless he's a superior athlete, and I don't.
Let's talk about that. So he's 6'2.5", 248. Not ideal in my opinion for a guy of that build. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger. But nonetheless, 34-inch arms, which really is not bad when you factor in his shoulder. His reach is longer than his height. He's got longer arms, like basketball player style.
Right.
But he's still 6'2.5", so you can only have your arms can have so much length, which is key in edge rush position to keep that separation, not get too deep into the offensive tackle's chest. But score breakdown, as far as his production, he was second overall amongst all defensive ends and edges. His athleticism score was fifth. He got an 84. Total score, 83. He is the second ranked edge or defensive end at the combine. Now we're talking about combine stats only. We all know that it's the underwear Olympics. But he didn't run a 40, and he didn't do a 10-yard split. Of course, he didn't get a 10-yard split because there was no 40 at the combine. But other numbers I'm looking at here. Vertical jump, 35.5. Broad jump, 9.11. 3-cone drill, he did do that in 6.94 seconds, which is pretty agile.
I mean, I think he's an average speed guy, starter. I don't, but like I said, if he's the best available defensive end, I get it, or edge. I would rather use a first round pick on somebody with better measurables.
But his measurables do translate to the field.
I think he's going to be good. I just think that in the first round, I'm trying to get somebody that could get a yellow jacket, bro. I'm trying to. It would really depends. Like if he's available and Pierce is available, I'm going for Pierce. You know what I'm saying? Like if he's available and the what's the kid out of Tech, the big dude from fucking Mississippi or fucking room?
Sanders.
Yeah, like if those guys are there, I'm picking them. If the running back that everybody wants Henderson is there, I'm picking Henderson over this guy. But like I said, if you're set, if he's high on your draft board, if he's in the top 3 of your draft board and the other 2 are gone, then I'm not going to be mad. I don't think he'll be a bad player. I don't think I'll be mad at his production. I just think there's a lot more meat left on the bone at 29.
Well, and if you have his prospect grade is rated at 6.4, which is quoted as will become good starter within 2 years.
Right. I need a guy who's going to be a good starter 1 year.
Yeah, Dev wants it right now. Now I don't know if you get that.
Shit, man! Everybody picked in the first round.
Everyone's gonna say Lamar.
Man, everybody picked in the first round should be a starter all day one, bro. That's some bullshit if you're not, bro. If you're not a starter, unless you're a quarterback that's having to sit behind a veteran or something situation. But other than that, man, everybody picked in the first round and the second round, to be honest, is a starter. 3 is a considerable person who has a considerable amount of
starter. They just said good starter within 2 years. He's gonna have rookie struggles.
You gotta be one of the best.
At 29, I give a little more leeway.
You gotta be one of the best players on my team at 29, dog. So, day one.
Yeah, and so Marcus Sealand popped into the chat. Says, "What's up, my brothers? It's draft week. Yes, it is. He hopes Steve Lim is enjoying his vacation." And you also know that all the defensive ends, except for Abdul Carter from Penn State, are closely graded. Yeah,
that is true, Marcus. That is true. That is true. Like I said, I don't think it's a bad player. I don't want anybody to think I'm dissing Donovan. I think he's a good player. I just think that if he's available, there's going to be better players. It might not be better defensive ends or edge rushers, but there's going to be better players, I think, available at 29 than him.
Now, the second round pick is the one that I thought was a little more interesting because this guy went linebacker. And I looked at his prospect, and I was like, "Wait a minute here."
Well, we also do not have a strong side linebacker either. So,
well, this guy would not be a strong side linebacker if you look at his measurables.
well, I was saying in the second round.
Yeah, it's Carson Schweschinger is the guy that they have as the guy.
I'm not familiar, but also a guy who's very 6'2", 242.
6'2", 242. He's the same height and only 6 pounds lighter than Donovan, and he plays linebacker.
Yeah, I'm saying it's a measurable thing.
Actually, you know what's funny is that I'm a 242. I didn't see that he measured that at the combine because his playing weight in college was 225.
That's crazy.
So at 242,
what I deduce from that, he's a guy who has to work to keep his weight up. Dangerous, but I mean, I don't know.
We'll say this: he seems to be pretty productive now.
I was going to ask how he rushed the quarterback.
His score is okay. So his next gen stat score is an 81. Donovan's was an 83. So a lot of his ratings here look very similar to Donovan. So if we can get a guy like that linebacker in the second round, I'd be happy with that.
What was this guy's numbers last year? I don't know much about this guy.
Let me see if I can find his stats.
I'm looking him up. Why you
see
that? I'm looking at
he was first team AP All-American. Hold on.
Yeah.
He's first team AP All-American, first team All Big Ten. He was finalist for the Butkus Award, which is the nation's top linebacker. Led the FBS with 90 solo tackles, ranked third with 136 total tackles. Team captain, played in all 12 games with 10 starts. Had 8.5 tackles for loss with 4 sacks, 2 interceptions, 3 pass breakups, and a forced fumble.
I'm looking at all his measurables and stuff, man. I mean, is he potentially a middle linebacker?
There it is, him at linebacker.
The only reason I asked, he was very active. He had like 136 tackles. You know, he had 2 interceptions. You know what I'm saying?
He has middle linebacker stats.
Right. It seems like he's a middle. If that's the case, we got to pretty much figure out what we're going to do. Here's
his overview. He went from a walk-on to All-American at UCLA. That tells me he puts in the work.
Right.
He's a human bloodhound, pairing elite instincts with an understanding of blocking schemes and run tracks. The pursuit speed is average, but his play recognition helps him play fast. He's undersized, takes the worst of it when blockers get on top of him, but he's a good athlete in coverage. He's also a sound technician as an open field tackler and a bona fide standout in special teams. Schweschinger was a starter for only 1 season, but his instincts, athleticism, and competitiveness help him project as a future starter either inside or as a 4-3 will linebacker. Not a Sam.
I think it smells like Roy. It smells like a weak side linebacker and or middle linebacker all over it. Frankie Louvu.
And it says here, strengths, rare instincts for maneuvering inside and avoiding blocks.
Yeah.
Which, God, could we please get a linebacker who can avoid blocks?
I'm not, I'm with Marcus where he said down here though that I'm not giving up on Jordan McGee either, man. I guess he might be the strong at this point. I haven't seen him. Hampton looked okay, I guess. But
imagine if you have a guy like this, because Bobby Wagner's on a 1-year deal.
Booby Wagner.
So once Wagner's out, you got developed Jordan McGee for another year. You got a guy like Schweschinger here, and you got Frankie Louvu. You still have a solid linebacking core. Hopefully. I mean, there's definitely the potential for it.
Yeah.
Body control and agility in short spaces is first class. Plays fast and sees run lane development like a running back. That's good. We need guys at linebacker who can stop the run. Period. Deciphers play action and mesh point shenanigans quickly. Is able to drop his weight and explode laterally as a tackler. Has hips, feet, and eyes to cover ground and zone. And special team star who is resolute on kick coverage.
I think we addressed the run defense in a free agency, man. We have no one that's gonna get that to that quarterback, bro.
Well, if we get Donovan, you got an edge rusher who can get that.
Except Louvu, he's it.
And you got a linebacker who could do it. So I mean, I thought this was a very fascinating pick because I didn't know too much.
I don't know much about this guy. I'm gonna immediately after we get off the pod tonight, and then tomorrow while I'm at work, do some deep dive on this guy. He sounds on paper sounds like a legit.
Yeah. It says that lead blockers tend to neutralize him in the hole, has issues getting rid of big bodies attacking him.
So everything, every linebacker in the NFL that you has to deal
He's
with.
quick, but chase speed appears to be average. So, and that's fine. I'll take a guy who, if you're average speed but you have fast recognition, you're
What was
fast.
his?
That
What
makes
was
you
his
fast.
40 time? Does it say?
He had a. I don't think he did the 40. Let me see here. He did not do a 40 effect. He only did the vertical jump at 39.5.
So he basically got a 40-inch vertical. That means he's probably explode.
Explosive, yeah. And then 20 reps on the bench press, which for a guy
230 some pounds,
who's hovering in that 225 to 240 range. Oh, okay. I mean, I can't rep 225 20 times. Haven't gotten to that yet.
Nah.
But yeah, it says here he's quick, but chase speed appears to be average. Lacks the size and force for ideal stopping power as a hitter, which is funny because they talk about how he's explosive and he's a technical tackler. But I guess they're talking about, he gets low, running back gets low, and he knocks the running back backwards type of power. Could have issues carrying backs out of the backfield. I'm guessing that's a coverage thing. So it looks like he's more of a zone coverage guy, which is good. He seems to have very good read and react skills from how this is playing out. But he's rated right below Donovan in terms of overall rating. So and he's a linebacker, which we may want.
I don't either one.
We want to be on the lookout for who's going to replace Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner's not going to have forever to play. Production score of an 81 is ranked first amongst linebackers. He's 11th in athleticism, but his total score of 81 ranks second amongst linebackers. Combined scores, but nonetheless, I mean, I thought that this was an interesting pick because I really had not heard much gas about him coming to us. Now, the third guy I want to talk about is one I have heard other people mock to us. This one I'm a little more leery of. I don't know if this guy is going to be it.
He's not.
But it's Jason Marshall Jr. out of Florida.
Oh yeah, I heard him.
So Jason Marshall Jr. Of course, now this guy, we're talking about pick 125, something like that. He's projected to be a 6th rounder. We were looking at getting him in the later in the draft. Coming out of he's coming out of Florida, originally from Miami, but he went to college of Florida. 6 foot 194, which is solid size for a corner. 30-inch arms, 9.25-inch hands. His hands are the same size as Donovan's. I don't know if that's a good thing for old Donovan and defensive end. He has a hand the same size as a corner, but okay. 4.49 40, 1.55 second split on the 10-yard, 37.5-inch vertical, 10 foot 5-inch broad jump. His production score ranked 33rd amongst corners. His athleticism score is ranked 12th overall, 24th. I don't know.
I don't think it's a first round pick. If we go corner,
no. He's projected to be a 6th rounder. We're talking about this. This is our pick 125.
I was gonna say, like, if Luke Kennard's on the table and you got that guy there, I think Cal Kennard, will be there. There's probably no way I pick.
This is somebody. This guy. This is somebody we're talking about drafting with our 3rd pick in the draft.
Nah. I still won't do that.
It's just very inconsistent. He can disrupt the release from the press, ride route, turn, stay in position, defend, throw. He falls asleep against play action and misdirection. Also has poor hands when it's time to flip the field. He's a disappointing tackler for his size, especially in run support. Lack of urgency and determination. Now, see that stuff I don't particularly care for. I have seen him mocked to us in other drafts.
I know he is, but
possesses prototypical size for a position. Big punch jolts receivers as a press defender. Smooth movements to trace the route break. Good knee bend for fluid transitions. Has size and strength to hinder catch space. So he's very good if he's on the receiver of staying on the receiver. But here, falls asleep against play action and misdirection. Left interceptions on the field because of poor catch coordination. Doesn't play with enough determination when he falls behind on a play. Yeah, that doesn't play here. Slips inside blocks and contains and loses contain against wide runs. Catches more contact than he delivers as a tackler.
Nah.
I'll pass. If he's like in a 7th round, I might grab a guy like him. And no earlier than that. No, that's just there's too many lapses. We can't have guys lapsing there. But I want to go over that because I thought those were interesting picks to go with that. Now, Marcus Elam asked, he's wondering if we will trade back the 2nd round pick. If you watched our mock draft, Dev turned 5 picks into 14.
I did.
And got a B- grade on his draft.
I got 4 starters easy though. First day, I think I got 4 easily.
See, I played it straight and did well, but I got 3 starters out of 5 picks, so I was happy with that. Nonetheless, the thing about the draft this year, right? Like, there's no, because of where we are, there's no like hype pick, right? Like last year was Jaden was the hype pick. We had hype picks when we were looking at Chase Young, guys who were high up in the draft, Robert Griffin III. Guys who, because of the position they play and name recognition and where they're being drafted, it's generational talent.
Mm-hmm.
You're not really looking at that at 29 because you only get generational talent once, maybe twice in a draft. But so that's why I kind of hope people realize we're almost picking in the 2nd round. You're at the bottom of the 1st round. It's almost picking in the 2nd round.
It's a 5-year deal round though.
You got just temper your expectations. And holy shit, joining us live from Western Maryland.
I'm trying to fix your camera real quick.
Half-naked Steve.
I was trying to fix your camera real quick, so it's wider.
Oh no, I know. I forgot to flip to the other screen. No, I was playing around with it and I just didn't do it. I don't need it wider. I'm already wide as it is.
All right. Peace out, fellas. Y'all enjoy.
Later, Steve. This man's producing from vacation, y'all. And giving the ladies what they want, apparently.
Hey, that looks much better. Looks much better. All right, I'm out.
Peace. I thought he was going to join us on the pod, and he's gone. Anyway, so I do think that people need to temper their expectations, right? Like, if this guy comes in at 29 and struggles a little bit, he's not day one superstar. Understand, we're not really pushing this guy to be, Jaden at whatever position he's at. You know what I mean? You can't do that with 29, right? You gotta give these people, there's gonna be a little bit of a development process. But, Montez Sweat, 2nd year was much better than his first. He was drafted in the low 1st round. It's like 23rd, I believe it was. 25th.
He slid. He was supposed to be a top 10 pick. He slid.
Yeah. He was a talented slip. Now, hopefully, somebody like James Pierce. James Pierce is may slip to us, and that wouldn't bother me at all either.
I think it's Raku in the 1st round. Is that how you say his name? Is Raku?
Raku. Is Raku? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be upset. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like there'll be other guys that are going to be defensive ends or edge rushers that'll be there that have a more upside. But he does bring a little speed. So I'm not.
You want that speed guy off the edge.
I 100% want a speed guy. Yeah.
You love him as a speed guy. Me,
Nixon getting murdered right now. Fucking playoffs.
Yeah. So talk a little bit of playoff talk. NHL and NBA playoffs starting around the same time. In baseball's regular season is about to wrap up its 1st month. We got the NFL draft. This is a busy sports season, like overall sports season. And so right now, as I sit here and speak to you,
Nixon,
the Washington Capitals are up 2-0 on the Montreal Canadiens in game 1 of their series. Let's hope it remains this way throughout the whole series, that they're just shutting them out. That's what I'm looking for. So Caps off to a good start so far. They're up 2-0 with 16:36 left to go in the third. So they're in the third period. Game, 16:36 left in the game. For those who are not familiar with hockey, it's 3 20-minute periods, not 4 15s. But anyway, the NBA playoffs are off and running too.
My Knicks are losing by 13.
The Knicks, since they're the only team that has representation on this pod right now, because Lord knows the Wizards suck. The Knicks are currently losing. They won game 1 by 11 over the Pistons, but right now they are down 11 from what I have here.
Yeah.
To the Pistons, which is a little surprising. I thought the Pistons were kind of going to be, an easy rollover.
Nah, they good defense.
Yeah, but they can't score to save their lives. But then again, it's the NBA playoff.
Yeah. You're frozen. I think that Phil is froze. So it's the damn show. Let's go. Oh, there he goes.
It said to refresh. Had to refresh. But nothing really surprises me so far. OKC's up 1-0. Cleveland's up 1-0. Golden State's up 1-0. Boston's up 1-0. Pacers are up. I will say this, Pacers up on the Bucks is a little surprising, but it's game 1. But there's not really too many surprises so far in the NBA playoffs. Deb, what you think? You're more of an NBA guy than I am.
What's that? What's the question?
Any surprises? The first,
I guess maybe the Timberwolves upsetting the Lakers, but not really. Like, I don't know who didn't see them not winning some games at least. Like, I don't think we'll sweep the the Pistons, man. I think the Knicks in 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
But I expect playoff teams win games, man. You're 4th or 5th seed, 3rd or 4th seed. You should not get swept, bro. I mean that's
should.
You shouldn't get swept by in a 3 and 4 seed series though. Y'all are close to even teams. But the NBA playoffs is one of the most fun things ever, man. I think I know that a lot of people want the first round to go down to 5 games. But look, man, the NBA has a philosophy that, more basketball is better. If in fact they got more money for a bigger contract, and the reason, the unwritten reason they don't have a 5-game series anymore in the NBA is because they try for a 9-game series. They settle with 7, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like they're adding tournaments to the regular season to add more games, bro. They're not.
It's all money. It's all money.
They're never gonna. They're talking about having a lottery tournament next year. There's like 0 ways they're gonna lose. They're gonna make less games in the NBA. There's not gonna be shorter seasons. That's never gonna happen, bro. They play 180. They play baseball seasons if they could in the NBA, bro. To be honest,
I mean, but the NBA needs to get more eyes on its product because ratings are tanking.
I don't even know how. I think this year is a very interesting year. I see that people say that all the time, but I don't think I've ever watched more NBA than I have this year, bro. I even have the NBA inside, like the NBA TV thing. I pay for every. Yeah, I don't have that in NFL, and I can watch the games for free. I'm watching it right now on the little NBA Pass thing. League Pass right now. I'm watching it. It's a crazy. I just think I don't know, man. I think I like the parity that it's not the same 2-3 teams every year that can win it. I like the younger superstars, man. They're pretty good. I don't like the fact they sit and rest games every I don't like they don't like
load
management backs. Yeah, I don't care for that too much, but I understand it. They just keep putting more games out there. It used to be the first round 5 games.
They do that in baseball. Although baseball's twice the season as the NBA, so that's
well, they can play 2 games in a day in baseball, though.
Sometimes they'll have double headers. So so there's a little more understanding for load management. You'll have weeks in a baseball season where you play 7 every day of the week, just the way it's scheduled. Most of the time, you'll get like a Tuesday or Wednesday travel day or something, or a break day while another team travels in. If you're at home, but a lot of times you get you're playing 6-7 days in a row.
Well,
Yeah.
in basketball, also, I know if you guys played high school, they didn't have AAU when I was in high school, but they had like spring ball, like baseball, basketball. And, you played in those tournaments 2-3 games in a day or two, man.
Yeah.
And that's how it was that's how it was. Yeah. You go to the park, you play 5-7 games, no problem, But yeah, I do want to. I wish they did go. Honestly, I think there'd be better basketball if they played the first round out of 5 because I think it give more upsets a chance.
There's a little more urgency, and I think that it's kind of like how March Madness, because it's like one and done, and so many teams are in it. Like, I think that there's that urgency would make for a better product.
I think the problem with it also with the NBA is you have to basically be healthy for 2 months. Like, you have to play 2 months straight basketball, 3-4 games in a week, if you want to win NBA championship. Now you got to play. It's literally the playoffs are 2 months long, so
because they don't back-to-back games anymore,
right?
Like they used to.
Right.
Yeah. So, but that's the other thing too, is that kind of helps the body rest up. Is that you do get rest between games.
But I think the problem with that is that the guys don't do it. That's how every year in the second round is when it usually happens. All these guys start going out, man, and then you have a guys with a straight path like Curry got his last championship when everybody got hurt, and like last year the Knicks was eating in the playoffs and all 5 starters were out in Game 7.
Yeah. Yeah, the NBA playoff. We'll say it's the NBA playoffs much more entertaining than the NBA regular season, for sure. So I will say that. That's why I was like, well, let's talk some NBA playoffs. Get to these comments here. Tio saying hi, Steve.
And we should do it.
Ryan Elias says it's the first WrestleMania he watched in years. Yes, WrestleMania was this past weekend, 2-night event. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I got couple of things I want to discuss, and I got a complaint as well.
Cody
just because of something they did too much of. But he said it was super fun, man. It was a good time. I mean, granted, I do mine. We get together as a group, so like you create those memories with your boys and all that. So that's always fun when you do something like that. Ryan Elias pointed out Caps dominating, keeping clean, back, block shots, penalty kills. Yeah, if you're up 2-0, you're killing penalties. And, of course, Steve with the CAPS, caps. And he's talking NBA. Cooper Flagg to the Wizards for the first pick of the NBA draft. Yes, Cooper Flagg has declared for the NBA draft. He is not going back to Duke next year.
I was surprised to hear it, but I get it.
Because he's already getting ad money from being, because with the NIL. So that
I think they offered him $4 million to stay. I think the first pick in the draft is gonna make like 11. So it's $4 or $5 million difference. You think maybe that doesn't matter to a kid like him, but
that's your taxes right there.
Yeah, depending on where you get drafted, yeah.
So now,
like unless he gets drafted to the Nets, then he's like, or LA team somewhere in California, and then it's over, dog.
Well, that's probably the NBA will make sure that little ball does not say Washington on it. Never does.
Man. Y'all got 14% like everybody else, right? It's like 14%.
14% for the top 14 or for the bottom 14.
Yeah. That's the NFL needs a lottery system, bro. I know people are against it, but I think it's like a fun time. The NFL could make so much money off of that.
The NFL could, but I think
they can sell the shit out of that, man.
There's a lot more tourists in the NFL, and honestly, I like the fact that it's like, unless you trade it away, if you're the worst, you get the first pick.
I love the NFL draft lottery or NBA draft lottery because you never know, man. Like right now, you already know the end of the year who's going to get the first pick. You basically knew they was going to pick Ward or a quarterback. It's like, but in the lottery, you don't know, man. You don't know. You could just increase your odds. It don't mean you're going to win it.
True.
So I think it's a good punishment to keep teams from doing that. Because the bottom 4 teams get the odds instead of just the bottom team. I think they should do it personally. Just the whole pageantry of it all would be dope.
We'll talk about that. Marcus Zeland points out both Louisville and Kentucky basketball are loaded for the upcoming season this fall.
Man, we lost the guy from Washington. He went to Tennessee, man. I mean, not from Washington, from DC. Yeah, he's going to Tennessee. I thought we had him, man. He at the last minute switched from us to Tennessee. I think we got too many people.
It probably is. I mean, everybody wants playing time because they want to maximize their value. especially with this NIL name and likeness, name, image, likeness. If you can make yourself a starter, you can market yourself better, and you can get more money.
More money.
So it's all about that. That's why guys don't want to be sixth men anymore in the NBA. They want to be starters. So now I'm going to talk little wrestling, since that happened this weekend. Biggest wrestling event of the year. 2-night event, WrestleMania. I know for a lot of you it's going to be boring. I'll keep it quick.
Keep it quick.
Night one, they kicked it off with what was supposed to be the original main event. Jey Uso versus Gunther. Jey Uso, they call him main event Jey Uso. He's curtain jerking event Jey Uso. The chant is over. Everybody just having 60,000 people going yeet yeet. That's over. He's not. Him and his twin brother, great tag team. Should have stuck with that because neither one of them are really like main event guys as well. Biggest news that came out of the night, came out of the 2 nights, of course, John Cena is your new undisputed WWE champion.
For the 17th time, right?
For the 17th time, he has broken Ric Flair's record of 16 recognized world championships.
You gotta say it like Ric Flair. 16, woo! 16 time.
No, Cena's now got 17. A lot of people hated the match because of the random interference. It was the match was ended with a low blow.
It's like an Easter egg fest.
Basically,
wrestling has become Marvel. They just want to see how many superstars they can stuff in an event.
Well, what happened was that Cena, it was how he won. A lot of people hated the ending because Travis Scott comes out. Yes, Travis Scott comes out, distracts Cody. Cena hits him with a low blow, and then nails him with the title belt. And referee comes in from being knocked to the floor because Cody had Cena pin, and Travis Scott pulled the ref out. All this other stuff. Ref comes in, makes the cover, but it was just like it just didn't feel like it had the punch that it was supposed to. But that's all right. I like heel Cena. So it was a lot of fun. I felt they had the mystery opponent for Randy Orton, which was TNA World Heavyweight Champion Joe Hendry, and this is a guy who's going to be a star in WWE once he signs a contract with them, and they buried him in 3 minutes. Buried him. Made him look like a total goof. Like, y'all have a working partnership with this company. I know it's not your world champion, but this is a guy you bring on TV a lot. You made him look like a punk. And I hate that.
I just don't think it's good storylines out there for him.
Well, this guy, the storyline is that he's a world champion in another company.
Yeah, I know. But that's what I was.
And they made him look like a punk in 3 minutes. Like 3 minutes? 3 minutes?
Well, it was always going to be. It was always going to be.
Match is over.
But it was always going to be the same treatment they gave Goldberg when he came. If you come from another promotion and they acknowledge that in the ring, then every time you fight a classic WWE or WWF person, you're going to lose that match because they got to show that their federation is the dominant one.
That has not been that way with Triple H running things. Because Triple H is a wrestling mark. Like, if that dude didn't get into bodybuilding and actually try to become a professional wrestler, he would be in a basement eating Cheetos and drinking Mountain Dew and just watching nothing but wrestling on whatever format he could, whether it have been videotapes back in the day, DVDs, streaming, whatever. That would have been him. I have a friend of mine who I used to write for their website. I used to do wrestling journalism a long time ago. He had dinner with Triple H and Batista. Was one of the guys who ran our website. He had financial investment and everything in it. He had dinner with Triple H, Batista, and I think it was just the two of them. And he said, Jesus Christ, this Triple H will talk nothing but wrestling. He says, and that dude is an encyclopedia. Like, he has watched everything. And it's like, nice. So, yeah, and a lot of people agree. First night WrestleMania was the best. Only good Sunday night was Randy Orton, RKO, and Joe Hendry. I thought they punked him out with that.
Yeah, they made it like a festival this year, right?
Huh?
They made it a festival, right?
They've been doing that since the pandemic. It's a 2-night event. They have stuff going on the week before, leading all up to it. Dirty
like that
Dom
idea.
winning the Intercontinental title was fun. Yeah. He's a Road Dogg fan to see a grungy guy balling. Well, the funny thing about Dominic Mysterio, he's Rey Mysterio's son, but because of that whole storyline back in the day about was Dominic Rey's son or Eddie Guerrero's son? Like he now has this thing about how he hates his father, so he acts like Eddie. He even looks like Eddie. He's got the mullet, he's got the mustache, everything. So he just doesn't have Eddie's muscle, but he is so hated by the fans, they're starting to love him.
Who's that?
Dominic Mysterio, that Dirty Dom Mysterio.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio's son. He's gotten over. He's good. I like him.
Is he a heel or
is a heel? He's a massive heel, but he got cheered for his win. He was in a fatal 4-way match, and it was a good fatal 4-way. It was him. This tells you how old we are. The champion going into the match was Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker is Rick Steiner's son.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah,
former fullback for the Ravens too. But talking about the Cena match was a bad match. Cena can't do the moves he's normally done. He did. He executed them fine. I thought. Says he thought The Rock was going to come out. A lot of people thought The Rock was going to come out. Instead, it was Travis Scott.
The Rock said he ain't leaving his apartment till he fixes a Rubik's Cube or some shit.
The Rock. Here's the thing. The Rock is a part owner of WWE because he's bought into the ownership of TKO, which owns WWE and
he's the CEO.
UFC. And he owns the UFL as well.
Yeah.
He's a complete fan of El Grande Americano, Kurt Angle vibes. It's funny because it's Chad Gable, who is an Olympic level wrestler. He's El Grande Americano. He hails from the Gulf of America. It's a whole gimmick where he's trying to be a Mexican luchador, but he's American. And all he does is piss off Mexicans. And it's kind of funny to see that. So he talked about Mark Sealand says he hung up with Mark Henry in a club in Louisville. Hurricane O'Malley's. He was funny the whole night.
Dude, I went to, I don't know if Marcus, a strip club there called, I remember O'Malley's, by the way, Godfathers. Used to be there in Louisville, man. And me and my friend James, I don't know if you know James Taylor, Marcus, we went there and, man, it was Nash, Hall, Mysterio. Mysterio had his mask on in the strip club.
Yeah.
And it was man, it was some other guys. I can't remember who it was. They had fought, and that's how we all knew. Because back then, wrestling still had a little mystique to it. That's how we end up realizing they're all friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy. I remember Jake the Snake Roberts was there for some reason. He didn't wrestle anymore, but he was there. It was like a whole bunch of wrestlers in there, man. And it was back in the late 90s.
Yeah.
It was in the late 90s, and they was running. They was running things when they went in there. All the strippers ran it in. It was like rappers now going to strip clubs.
We gotta understand is that wrestlers, especially back in the day, but wrestlers and strippers, were always.
By the way, it was back when
you gotta understand they're both in the business of selling you a fantasy.
It was in the days when strip clubs played they played rock ballads and danced to. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy as fucking shit to think about. Yeah, shit like that. They was playing some dumb shit. Some Milli Vanilli.
I will say this: I had a girlfriend back in college who gave me a lap dance to that song, and it was primo. It was primo quality.
If I seen a woman strip dance to some rock music or country music now, I throw a roll of quarters at her. That's crazy. I don't want to hear that shit. Twerk.
Okay.
Rap or something, dog.
I got a strip club story, and I can say this: I don't sanction this. I didn't know the dude was doing this till after it happened. He got thrown out, and when I found out, I was like, well, he can leave on his own because fuck him.
Damn. You put a whole $100 bill on somebody's butt, didn't you?
He was throwing quarters on stage.
Oh, Lord.
And he started doing the thing because he was a smoker. He was running his lighter underneath the quarters, heating them up. And the girl was up there picking up the dollar bills and the people throw there in quarters and all that.
Why people want to harm strippers? They're there for your pleasure.
And she did that to one of the heated ones and burned
her cho-cho?
Burned her cha-cha.
Damn.
When I found out, it was not a friend of mine. He was a friend of a friend. And I was just like, fuck that guy.
Fuck him.
Don't do that. That's wrong. He just thought he was being funny. You know?
What's kind of funny, I guess.
I mean, it's a good story, but I was like, damn. Ryan's like, whoa, so he's Ray's son? Bro, I need to.
It's like
I'm getting back.
It's an I streaked at the Super Bowl kind of story, you know what I'm saying? Like the guy who stole the Corvettes, you know, you can tell that story, it'll never get old.
Okay. So Ryan Elias asked me, he says, come out to Montreal's music is gold. That's what El Grande Americano comes out. Goes, who's the cat wearing the green luchador outfit who's balling with that walk line moves? That is Penta. He was in AEW as Penta El Cerro Mero. He's Pentagon Jr. in AAA and Lucha Underground. He's really good. And his brother is Ray Phoenix, who filled in and faced El Grande Americano because Rey Mysterio was injured. Ray Phoenix, of course, you know, in Mexico, Ray means king. So Rey Mysterio means mysterious king. Ray Phoenix is Phoenix King. That's how it translates. It's a Mexican thing. But yeah, him and Ray Phoenix are the Lucha Brothers. They're on different shows. They put them on together. They will be a dynamite tag team. I've watched them for years in AEW. They're great. You'll enjoy it. Caps got scored on, did they? Yes, they did. Well, it's 8:24 left in the third. Hopefully, they can hold them off. Mark Seelan with his own another wrestling strip club story goes, Ken Shamrock and Jeff Jarrett, that's a combo, were in a club, Toy Tiger. Do you remember that club, Dev?
I do. 100%.
Shamrock was tipping girls $20 bills.
Yeah, those wrestlers don't fuck around, bro. Back in the day, party hard.
Logan Paul did wrestle last night against AJ Styles. He says he's impressed with his character and skill. As much as he hates Logan, Logan has put in work. Like he is a legitimate professional wrestler at this point. It's kind of like how I said Jake Paul has put into work, become a legitimate boxer. He just doesn't fight legitimate boxers.
Yeah.
But
he'll knock a regular motherfucker like us out, bro. No problem.
1 month.
In the ring. In the ring. What easy. What he? Yeah.
So here's the thing that pissed me off. So they had a theme song for WrestleMania every year, right? And this year's theme song,
when it comes crashing down and it hurts. Oh
no, that's a wrestler's theme song. But this was
I hear voices in my head. My bad.
This was the theme song of WrestleMania, and they played it like they would just keep going back to it all the time. After a while, I was just like, damn it, you're gonna make me hate this song. So if y'all don't know, it's Travis Scott and Playboy Cardi's theme.
Yeah, obviously it was gonna be Travis Scott.
But
just come outside.
We played 3 times between that.
Take your time. Get your life.
I feel like all of his songs sound exactly the same.
But they always cut in at this part.
You got our copyright taken.
I already said it was going to happen, but imagine that just that theme part played for and it's just that part continuously played, and then they fade out, talk about something, come back to the arena, and they're playing it again from that part. And I'm like, God damn it, y'all, please stop. Like, I get it, it's the theme song, but calm down with that. So I was just like, damn it, that annoyed me. Like, it's too much. Says Rando, you know how my kid is good. He should have told me Tiffany was pretty, boys. She stole his heart. So your son believes it's Tiffy time. Tiffany Stratton, by the way, chipped her tooth in a match. You can see it when she raised her arm up at the end of the match. You can see like she had chipped her bottom teeth. Now she went on social media the next day, showed, oh no, my teeth are fine. And it's like, no, you got some caps. Put on that. But she had that Joe Theismann thing. Have you ever seen a time when Joe Theismann got his teeth chipped right through here? Yeah. She had it down here.
It's like Nas in the Illmatic days.
Yeah, it's about the chipped tooth. Yeah. But yeah, she
like Fabulous before he signed the deal.
It was also a night of wardrobe malfunction. So like Jade Cargill had a nip slip. Charlotte Flair almost had her whole hoo-ah come out. Yeah. And Tiffany Stratton almost had a nip slip as well. Luckily,
if you've seen one nip, you've seen two. You know what I'm saying? It's not that.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying.
By the way, if you see one, it's never on purpose. You know what I'm
saying? Get your wardrobe right, ladies. Please keep them things in. If we're gonna keep this PG or TV 14.
Right, we never have dong slips, man. It's starting to look like you're doing it on purpose. Like there's never like
actually, it's funny because that did happen in a wrestling.
I'm sure it's happened before, but it's not like a regular occurring thing. It's not like they just out here just oh man, a dong slip and it's like a news. They don't even have it in basketball. They're jumping in there with their legs open with shorts on. You just still don't see dong slips in it as well.
Actually, hold on. That's not entirely true. It did happen in LeBron.
I mean, yeah, it happens, but I'm saying it don't happen like every week, like as many
Like
times.
he was doing a thing where he was adjusting his shorts and like his jersey was like up because I don't know, he was untucked. And I guess he was adjusting him to tuck his jersey back in. And like dude opened up everything. And it's like, God damn, I just saw LeBron James's dick.
Usually Dick's slips are like what Chris Cooley did. Remember he took a picture of his playbook or some shit and his dong
and the tip of his dick was at the bottom of the picture. You know, you can't
I'm glad that he didn't have cell phones.
This happened. Like, no, it didn't. And I was like, oh, let me find it. And you couldn't find it anywhere. They all cover it with a Redskins helmet. I was like, yeah, I remember when that happened too. He used to take a picture of a picture of his playbooks he was studying, and it's like
big pig in there.
You know, Captain Chaos Hog right in front of you.
Hey, I don't know. I've missed a generation of sending dick pics, man. But I'm afraid if I were a high schooler with a cell phone, I probably would have sent out several of them by now. Nobody wants to see a 47-year-old penis. You know what I'm saying? But
you know, it's funny because they talk about women never want to be sent a dick pic.
Yeah.
Well, we don't like that, Mike. First of all,
cool.
First of all, I've seen
a lot of dicks. What you gonna say?
Honestly, like, oh no, I take the ones I like and I just keep them in a private folder just to know who to call on later. I'm like, that's what you do.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's a lot that goes into it. You don't want it like too hard, but you know what I'm saying. But you don't want it not too hard. You know what I'm saying? You got like position right. You got to do either Captain Morgan or the straight down look. You don't want to get your feet in there without. You know, there's a whole lot of weird things you got to do to send a dick pic. I feel like it's not.
You got to angle it from down here.
Yeah, you got to. You know, you
get
got
the lighting right.
You got to use the 4K options with the live snap and all that.
Yo,
shit.
you ever seen that? You ever see that clip where they did that they put that new camera mode on the they put a new camera mode on the iPhone, and they have this on Samsung too. But it's like if you take a top-down picture, it changes perspective, so everything looks further away, except what's right in the foreground. So if you put the tip of a banana right in front of the lens, that banana looks about 2 feet long. And it's like game changer, boys.
I feel like you know way too much.
Oh, that was a meme that went around.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
What?
Do people use filters on dick pics? That's weird.
I'm a meme master. All I'm saying.
Yeah.
I know I've seen it many times. I'd save my phone, but hold on.
Next time, make a little run.
Let me see if I can get this pulled up here. This is the meme I've ever seen. Hold on, I'll share this screen. The interesting new wide angle lens on new iPhone 11. This is a couple years old, but I just remember this. This is the game changer, boys.
Right, yeah.
Hey man, you gotta love a good meme. But anyway. Oh, wait, shit. I'm a bad producer.
Yeah, we're missing layups.
Mark's pointing out Rusev is back in WWE. I guess trying to catch up with AEW. Actually, what it is, he made up with his wife, who is signed to a Legends contract, and she helped him get a job back. They spoke up for a while. She could fuck Damian Priest on the low in Puerto Rico. Now she's like, oh my god. And he accepted it. And his wife's fine as hell. So you gotta watch women now. Unk Shin Sharp is getting sued for $50 million.
Did you see that? Did you see the email?
I didn't see this. What happened?
Man, somebody saying that he's sexual assaulting and linking pictures of her and sharing it allegedly and they wanted $50 million to sue him. Not a criminal charge, just a obviously money charge, civil charge. But Shannon Sharp today, his lawyer through via Shannon Sharp released a statement. It's pretty lengthy, but he put out basically all the text messages from the chick, man, and she was just like, "Hey, I can't wait to come see you and eat your ass." And, it was the crazy shit, man. Talking about she wanted to have his big black babies a bunch of times and wants him to be addicted to her and shit like that. But it's the same girl that's saying she was sexually assaulted about him over a course of a year or two, and that she was exploited sexually by him. That's basically what the stuff's saying. I'm like, it's not according to the text messages you were sending. And also, it's the same lawyer that's gone after P. Diddy and Jay-Z. And and Drewski, I think.
So, couple bits here.
Yeah, we're supposed to lose this game, bro.
So Montreal's tied it up. Montreal's tied it up with the Caps. Not good.
Yeah.
Not good. But 3:10 left in the third. Let's see if playoff Ovi will show up. Marcus says he got the email in the sports group. Speaking of the Caps, so Alexander Ovechkin was asked what helps him play better. Like what pregame ritual helps him play better. And he said his answer was sex, preferably before and after the game. I'm like, that's your greatest hockey player of all time right there, man. That's the greatest hockey player of all time answer.
You might have CTE.
I think he's giving dude CTE the way he hits. He hits like somebody who does not score goals, but he scores goals. Last thing I had on my docket today is the 9th anniversary of the passing of the greatest musician of at least my generation, if not all generations, one and only Prince. Passed away in 2016 on April 21st. So I just want to play this little clip because it came to my attention. I remember seeing it years ago, and then this came up. It was Tom Petty and a bunch of all-stars, including Prince, doing "While My Guitar Gently Weeps." It was a tribute to George Harrison. That was one of his songs with the Beatles. And Prince decides to go on his impromptu solo. And by the way, if I didn't lose my copyright before, I'm going to now. So ain't no demonetization. So if you want to throw up a super chat, that'd be really nice. We ain't getting ad money for shit whenever I stream. But I want to play this just because of the fact that it's Prince being Prince. So
where they was doing the go ahead.
He went a full guitar solo that they actually was not something they rehearsed.
Yeah, I seen that. Were there a bunch of them on stage together?
Yeah.
I was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my his grandfather went to his funeral, man.
No kidding.
Yeah, he's dead now too.
He's another legend that was taken from us way too soon.
Yeah.
Marcus Eland says Purple Rain was my movie. Mine too.
Yeah.
I actually
bathe yourselves in the waters of Lake Minnetonka, big dog.
The only movie I've ever purchased on YouTube, just so I could have it on YouTube. So if I'm somewhere and I can't find it anywhere else, I got it. It's a copy of Purple Rain. Ryan says, my father claims he was called Prince when he was in high school. His first name is Prince. His name was Prince Rogers Nelson.
Prince Rogers, yeah.
So, his name was legitimately Prince. He wasn't called Prince. That was his name.
Yeah.
But he had a couple like different nicknames in high school and so forth. And yes, there is an interview with Nikki Free.
Yeah, he talks about the basketball game.
Where he talks about the fact, he says, "Oh yeah," he says that whole bit that Charlie Murphy did about Prince playing basketball is absolutely true. He says, "Dude was Steph Curry before there was a Steph Curry."
He talks about it. He has him on if you watched it. Remember what George Lopez had its own talk show?
Yeah.
He had Prince on there, and Prince tells him that happened. He tells the whole story of how it happened and everything.
Yeah.
It's almost exactly how Charlie Murphy said it.
Yeah. And it's funny though, because Prince said, I remember Prince was in a radio interview. He says, "It's not because I'm that good. It's because Charlie Murphy was that bad."
They say he was really good at basketball though. Like he was like an all-state kind of. Yeah, he was like a really, really good player.
Like he
carries the basketball court with him on
he
tour.
handles like crazy. That's what's funny.
Yeah, he's little. He's a little guy. But
Ryan Lyons says no that his father claimed people called his father Prince. Like
yeah, I got what he said.
I didn't catch that the first time.
Yeah.
Well,
your dad play guitar too?
Could he play guitar and about 17 different?
Or did he just wear a shirt with his taco meat out?
was he just boning everything in sight? I remember the memes when Prince died. They're like, well, if there were 72 virgins in heaven, there aren't any more. And that's the funny thing is that like for the longest time, because of how Prince dressed and everything else, because he was very androgynous, like, there's always the company and gay jokes came with it. But if you look at it, Prince is one of the straightest human beings ever when it comes to his dating preferences. That man only liked exotic, beautiful women. Like that's all he wanted.
Carmen Electra.
Carmen Electra.
Yeah. Apollonia, aka Vanity.
Yeah.
A bunch of people.
That was his thing. He was just there was only one Prince. There never was one before him. There'll be never another one after him. I've actually got his autobiography sitting on my bookshelf here. The beautiful
Kim Basinger, however you want to call it.
That's right.
Sheila E. Yeah, he had a pretty good list.
Yeah. There's, and like I said, just no one. They talk about genre blending now. No one could genre blend and genre hop like Prince. Prince can make pure pop music. He can make rock music. He could do guitar solos with the best of them. He could do R&B. He could do, he even, like if you look at his stuff in the early 90s, very New Jack Swing influenced, or that whole Minneapolis sound, which kind of influenced New Jack Swing, comes from Prince. So everything we talk about, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, they were former members of the Time.
Yeah.
Which was
Morris Day now.
Yeah, Morris Day, but that was Prince brought them along. Right. So that whole
you brought a lot of people up.
Oh yeah. And he was definitely an artist.
The bird. Hallelujah. Whoa, the bird, dog. You don't know about that, dog. Purple Rain.
Oh, I know about that because I've seen Purple Rain about 10,000 times.
Bathe yourselves in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. That's not Minnetonka.
That's not Lake Minnetonka.
Yeah.
It was legit. And it's funny because what people don't realize is how, if you look at the fact that none of the trees in that scene have any foliage, so it was filmed in either late fall, winter, or early spring. It's in Minnesota too. That water was cold, and Apollonia jumps in the water. I'm like, more power to you, woman. But anyway, I wanted to play that because that popped up because today is the 9th anniversary of Prince's passing. It's unfortunate because,
Prince had one of the best Super Bowls also at times.
Yeah.
Top 2 or 3.
It really is. In fact, I pretty much put it in my number one. I mean, I have a bias. I'm a massive Prince fan. But nonetheless, if you haven't gone back and appreciated the work of the man, go back and do it. You'll find, if you are a fan of any kind of music, you will find something Prince has done that you will like because he's done almost everything. So, anyway, Dev, you got anything?
Nah, man. I'm sitting there watching my Knicks come back down 6 with 4.5 minutes left.
Check it in, and we are going to overtime in DC, 2-2.
What's the series there? 1-0 DC?
No, today's game 1.
Okay.
So, anyway, well, I'm going to call it a night. Steve said, later, bros. Way to hold it down. Hey, we tried. Just so you know, Steve, get ready. As soon as I hit end stream, you're going to get the copyright notices. Ryan Lyle says, boo this man. Boo me? Boo me? We almost didn't have a show tonight. Invited him. He's like, no, I'll just do a live stream. Don't you boo me.
Don't you boo me.
When you boo yourself, you boo yourself, you boo God. Because I'm right with the Lord.
I fuck with Prince, man. I got my first stereo system, man. It wasn't system, it was a boombox. I got a boombox when I was my favorite holiday. My mom got me a boombox and a tape. And the first tape that I got was Prince. And it was Pop Life. I don't remember that album very well. I'm gonna look it up. Pop Life album. Prince, I think. Wasn't it? Or is a song on there called Prince?
He has a song called Pop Life.
No, Pop Life is the name of an album released by multiple artists. Yeah, 85 album around the world in a day. Prince.
Around the world in a day. Pop Life is a song on that album.
Yeah.
That was Around the World in a Day, which was the album that came out after Purple Rain and actually had a Raspberry Beret on it.
Yeah, I remember that. It had a little red Corvette on it, right?
No, Little Red Corvette was on 1999.
But I remember Prince, man, as a kid, and my mom was a bigger fan.
The Purple Rain soundtrack, by the way, is almost
top 5 movie soundtrack. It's top 10 movie soundtrack for sure.
Definitely. I mean, it's almost like almost every song's a hit off of that.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I can't knock it. It's not above the rim, but
Says y'all killed it tonight. We didn't even talk about day one with Seth Rollins and Roman. Oh yeah, when everybody got nut shotted and Seth Rollins beat both Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Yeah. That was a great match though.
I think Cody and CM Punk would have you could get a good story around those two guys in the ring. It'd be okay.
Well,
they're both same size kind of guys.
Here's the thing: Punk got hurt last year.
Yeah,
like in his first match back, comes to the Royal Rumble, gets hurt, tore his tricep, missed a bunch of time. Guy was getting trolled like legitimately by people who don't like him in that organization, and they put him in the feuds with him. So that he was doing that. So he was doing a thing with Seth Rollins because Seth Rollins legitimately at one point hated CM Punk.
He's also a writer on there now too, isn't he?
No,
he
he does not have creative control. Huh. But anyway, so that was a great match. Probably the best, definitely better than 2 main events. Ryan Lance says picture of his dad, Prince, in high school. Hold on. Let me see this. Let me see.
I got a cousin who dresses up as Prince on Halloween every year. It's pretty hilarious.
I gotta share this with the world. Hold up, Marcus, don't go yet. Ryan Elias' dad, back in the day.
Put it on screen.
I am. I gotta pull it up.
That's what she said.
Ryan called him the Peter Prince.
Peter.
Oh, hold on. Present screen. Share screen.
Has he got the whole Prince outfit on?
Nah, but he I see where he's getting it from.
Yeah, that's definitely, I can see it. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Oh, that's Ryan Elias' dad right there.
He's over next to Sosa on fucking
I was saying he's got Sosa next to him.
He had Sosa next to him, fucking Scarface.
Man, this picture just smells of 1982.
Yeah, man. It's like, yeah. It definitely smells like cocaine, that whole picture.
Cocaine and smells like cocaine and blue Stratos cologne right there. You know what, Ryan? That was a great contribution to the show right there.
That was hilarious, man. Yeah.
Anyway, so we're gonna. There you go. The barge vibes.
Cocaine
Chico
was a
DeBarge.
Yeah. The barge, yeah.
Chico DeBarge.
Definitely some Doobie Brothers going on there.
I think there was some doobies.
Definitely the Doobies and brothers.
Didn't see any brothers. Maybe some essays. Anyway, thank you all very much coming out on this impromptu live stream. Like I said, I just brought up a couple of things. I was like, I'll talk about this.
His dad definitely looks like Prince.
Your dad definitely looked like Prince back in the day, Ryan.
Yeah.
Be here Thursday. We will be doing a live stream of the draft. I will be getting probably pretty loaded because by the time we do our pick, it's gonna be 11 o'clock at night.
I have to work at 5 a.m., so I won't be loaded.
I will be. And I'll just sleep it off. Maybe I'll just pop some edibles. But who knows? Anyway, we'll find out. We'll see. Anyway, till Thursday, all I can say is thank you very much for coming out tonight. Peace. Hail.
Oh, no, Soul Train.